And honourable members, this must be Europe's independence moment. I believe this is our union's mission, to be able to take care of our own defence and security, to take control over the technologies and energies that will fuel our own economies, to decide what kind of society and democracy we want to live in.
So what's the plan of EU to compete for influence in this region?
The free trade agreement matters now because it is a desire on both sides to intensify our trade relations.
การเจรจาความตกลงการค้าเสรีไทยสหภาพยุโรปอาจจะไม่ใช่แค่ผลประโยชน์เพื่อการค้าแต่คือการเดิมพันเศรษฐกิจและความมั่นคงของไทยทั้งระบบค่ะนี่อาจจะเป็นโอกาสครั้งยิ่งใหญ่หรือจะเป็นความเสี่ยงที่ไทยต้องยอมแลก
Embrace the change. This is the message I would give.
คุณผู้ชมคะในโลกที่กำลังเต็มไปด้วยความขัดแย้งมีสงครามมีการแข่งขันในเชิงภูมิรัฐศาสตร์อีกด้านหนึ่งเรื่องของการค้าก็กำลังปรับเปลี่ยนด้วยนะคะเพราะว่ากำลังเผชิญเรื่องวิกฤตพลังงานและสงครามการค้าเมื่อพูดถึงประเทศไทยกับสหภาพยุโรปก็ต้องเดินหน้าต่อนะคะเรื่องของการเจรจาเพื่อที่จะให้บรรลุข้อตกลงการค้าเสรี EU ประเทศไทยซึ่งมีความสำคัญอย่างยิ่งยวดโดยเฉพาะในช่วงที่การแข่งขันทางด้านการค้ากำลังเข้มข้นมากขึ้นไทยคงจะปฏิเสธความสำคัญของตลาด EU ที่มีกว่า450ล้านคนไม่ได้เมื่อมองดูในระดับภูมิภาคหลายๆประเทศเดินหน้าและบรรลุข้อสรุปไปแล้วนะคะเพราะฉะนั้นไทยเองต้องเร่งเครื่องค่ะเพื่อที่จะเข้าถึงตลาดขนาดใหญ่และรักษาความสามารถในการแข่งขันของไทยในตลาดโลกไว้ให้ได้ด้วยเช่นกันแล้วไทยติดล็อกตรงไหนในการเดินหน้าข้อตกลงการค้าเสรีนี้จะต้องเดินหน้าอย่างไรThe World Dialogue วันนี้ดิฉันจะคุยกับเอกอัครราชทูตสหภาพยุโรปประจำประเทศไทยค่ะ
In the contested geopolitical environment that we are seeing around the globe today, with the war in Ukraine, with the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, with the tense relationship between two main powers in the world, this centrality of multilateralism, the centrality of the rule-based international order is really important. Thailand is now at a very slow economic growth. If the latest projections say 1.5%, which is very slow for the region. The change is necessary for Thailand to become more competitive and to be at the level that the economy deserves to be, and therefore see this economic growth that we see in other neighboring countries. So what does the European Union can bring in this fragmented, complex geopolitical context? First of all, let me say that the European Union projects itself as a reliable and predictable partner. And I think this is probably the most important element. We believe in multilateralism. We support the UN system. We support the rule-based international order. We support international law, international humanitarian law, international human rights law. So these are the bases on which the European Union has been founded. Second, we are a very important economic power. We are the second largest economy. We are the first trading bloc in the world. We are the first in terms of inbound and outbound investment internationally. So that also gives a sense of what the European Union can bring to partners in terms of diversification of economies, in terms of diversification of partnerships. And I would like to offer a third element. Politically, we were born out of the Second World War conflict. So we are a peace project. This is the way we are also portraying our relationship with third partners as a global security provider, not a provider of security by force, but more a provider of security in terms of cyber security, in terms of counterterrorism, in terms of partnership to fight illegal flows of.
So does it mean that the EU doesn't really focus on economic power any longer, but it's time to act as a strategic one as well?
The European Union has evolved over the years since its beginning, and we are more and more a comprehensive power. Now, we are certainly, as I said, a very big economic power because we are a big economic bloc, the European Union and its member states. And as I said, we are the first trading bloc in the world and the first for investment. So we are an important trading bloc. We are a market of 450 million people. So when you look at the European Union for industries, you are looking at a lot of consumers and high-value consumers that can be reached through. But we are also a political power. We are also a security provider. We are also a supporter of the multilateral system, so a partner with whom to work in the UN system, a partner with whom to build alliances to fight global challenges, to profit of joint opportunities that can be on the environment front, that can be on the green transition or on the digital transformation. So we are a global partner with whom to work.
ท่ามกลางความผันผวนของเศรษฐกิจและการเมืองโลกเอเชียตะวันออกเฉียงใต้ได้กลายเป็นจุดยุทธศาสตร์สำคัญที่มหาอำนาจทางเศรษฐกิจอย่างสหภาพยุโรปต้องจับตามองนะคะเพื่อที่จะกระจายความเสี่ยงและสร้างความมั่นคงให้กับห่วงโซ่อุปทานสหภาพยุโรปได้เริ่มการเจรจากับอาเซียนและได้ปรับยุทธศาสตร์มาเป็นรูปแบบทวิภาคีซึ่งเพื่อนบ้านของเราอย่างสิงคโปร์และเวียดนามก็ได้คว้าข้อตกลงนี้สำเร็จไปเรียบร้อยแล้วย้อนกลับมาที่ไทยค่ะเราเคยเริ่มเจรจาความตกลงการค้าเสรีกับสหภาพยุโรปมาตั้งแต่ปี 2556 แต่ว่ากลับต้องมาสะดุดจากการรัฐประหารเมื่อปี 2557 จนกระทั่งในปี 2566 ที่ผ่านมาประตูบานนี้ได้ถูกเปิดออกอีกครั้งไทยจะสามารถใช้โอกาสครั้งนี้ยกระดับความสามารถในการแข่งขันและก้าวทันการเปลี่ยนแปลงของโลกที่ผันผวนนี้ได้หรือไม่
Southeast Asia has always been important. Now, geographically, Southeast Asia is very central. It is far from Europe, but it's close to Europe. You cannot say that the geographical the separation is also a separation in policies. So it is far away, but the security of Europe is the security of Asia. Economically is central, and it is the link between Europe and the rest of Asia and the Pacific. It is in the center of many trade routes as well. We are building a partnership that is valuable for us as well as for the partner countries. So we look at win-win approaches.
And where does Thailand fit in this picture?
Central. Thailand is very important, and I'm proud to be the ambassador to Thailand. Thailand is central in ASEAN geographically, is one of the ASEAN founding members as well, so it has a very important regional power. And economically, it has all that needs to be a very important economic partner in terms of the industrial basis, in terms of the service structure. Thailand is a very good economic and political partner. Moreover, we share most of the same values. So we speak the same language in terms of multilateralism, in terms of rule-based international order.
You have served in Thailand before. Now you have been back as EU ambassador to Thailand. What feels the most different this time?
I was here as Deputy Chief of Mission, so Deputy Ambassador between 2014 and 2018. This was a very low period in our bilateral relations. At the time, the Partnership and Cooperation Agreement, which is our main framework for the bilateral relations, had not was not into effect yet, so negotiation had concluded, but it was decided not to implement the Partnership Cooperation Agreement. The Free Trade Agreement negotiations were also frozen, and we had very limited engagement with the government at the time. Now I come back 7 years after, and I see a very flourishing bilateral relation with a desire on both sides to increase the engagement across all areas. First of all, now we have the Partnership and Cooperation Agreement in place, so negotiations were completed and the agreement has been in place now for 2 years. The free trade agreement negotiations are ongoing at a steady pace, so it's very promising the way we are looking at our bilateral trade and economic relation. But what I see also as a big change is the mutual interest and expanding cooperation on security, for instance. Second, I would like to offer on sustainability. I see the real engagement and ownership of Thailand on the sustainability agenda, on the circular economy agenda, and these are issues on which we see really eye to eye. And I appreciate the fact that we can partner on the green agenda and move what is a global priority forward together. And our also people-to-people links have increased very much compared to my previous posting, and there is a desire on our side to do more, to allow more students to go to Europe, more researchers to share more our culture with Thailand and to learn more about culture of Thailand and the way of living.
If you look at free trade agreement in perspective of 100%, how many percent has Thailand achieved in negotiation with the EU?
Okay, so the free trade agreement has 24 chapters, so I'll do it very mathematically. As 24 chapters, we have provisionally concluded 11. Which means that we are provisionally concluded. It means that it is concluded, so negotiations have taken place, but of course everything will be looked at the end of the negotiations again. But provisionally concluded almost half of the chapters, which means that we are halfway through. This is mathematically where we stand, and we have tackled some of the important issues. Some remain to be done. We have had 8 rounds of negotiations. The next round will take place at the end of June. We are really looking forward to see that round would bring further progress so that we can continue in this accelerated way of negotiating with Thailand and bringing it to the final line.
For the remaining chapters, in waiting for negotiation, what are the hardest issues that Thailand needs to tackle?
But the chapters is always like this in agreements. Very often you leave the most difficult issues in the latter part of the negotiations. So services and investment have to be tackled. Public procurement has to be tackled. So we do still have geographical indications have to be tackled. So we still have some of the important issues that need to be discussed. But what we want to see is that there is a full acknowledgement and a full buy-in of the entire government, and therefore, if time is needed, we will need to wait for that to take place in order to have the commitment that is a commitment required for the agreement to take place.
จากความร่วมมือภายใต้ PCA สู่การเร่งผลักดันความตกลงการค้าเสรีไทยสหภาพยุโรป ที่กำลังเดินหน้าเข้มข้นขึ้นอย่างต่อเนื่องข้อมูลจาก Eurostat ระบุว่ามูลค่าการค้าระหว่าง2ฝ่ายสูงกว่า 1.6 ล้านบาทต่อปีและมีการลงทุนโดยตรงจากยุโรปหลั่งไหลสู่ไทยมหาศาลเลยค่ะเป็นมูลค่ากว่า 900,000 ล้านบาทเดือนกุมภาพันธ์ที่ผ่านมาการเจรจาความตกลงการค้าเสรีไทยสหภาพยุโรปเดินหน้ามาถึงรอบที่ 8 แล้วค่ะและได้สรุปข้อบทเพิ่มเติมอย่างต่อเนื่องสะท้อนให้เห็นถึงความพยายามของไทยในการเปิดประตูสู่ตลาดยุโรปอย่างจริงจังแต่ว่าอีกด้านการค้าเสรีก็ไม่ใช่เรื่องของโอกาสเท่านั้นเพราะว่าภายใต้ข้อตกลงนี้ยังมีทั้งการแข่งขันที่เข้มข้นมาตรฐานใหม่ด้านสิ่งแวดล้อมแรงงานและกฎระเบียบที่ภาคธุรกิจไทยอาจจะต้องเร่งปรับตัวคำถามสำคัญเลยอยู่ที่ว่าความตกลงการค้าเสรีไทยสหภาพยุโรปจะกลายเป็นโอกาสทองที่พาเศรษฐกิจไทยก้าวสู่เวทีโลกหรือจะเป็นโจทย์ท้าทายครั้งใหญ่ที่ไทยต้องยอมแลกบางอย่างเพื่อให้ได้เกิดขึ้นจริง Regarding EU-Thailand Free Trade Agreement that is back on the table, why does it matter now? And what are the hardest issues still need to resolve?
The free trade agreement matters now because it is a desire on both sides to intensify our trade relations. And we see this as a mutually beneficial. We have done the assessment to see what that would bring to both sides, and the conclusion was that it is in the Thailand's interest, as it is in the European interest, to conclude a modern, comprehensive free trade agreement. Now, for the perspective of Thailand, this is an agreement that goes beyond the agreements that Thailand has reached with other countries. And we are fully aware of that. It includes sustainability clauses, it includes regulatory commitments that go beyond what has been achieved in other bilateral agreements. But there is a mutual desire to have a modern and comprehensive agreement, and that will bring a transformational change in the way we do business together, but would also be a transformational change for Thailand's economy, because some of the reforms that are necessary in order to come to an agreement with the European Union, that is very ambitious, and we recognize that, are the same reforms that are necessary for Thailand to achieve the membership of the OECD, which I note that have been advanced in the latest policy statement to 2028. So it is around the corner, the deadline for accession to the OECD. And it is also important for the desire of Thailand to become a higher income country by 2037. So this is also very soon. And all these reforms increase competitiveness, open the economy, and would allow not only to conclude the free trade agreement, but also to achieve the objectives that Thailand has set for itself, OECD membership and becoming a higher income country.
Overall, is this trade agreement only about trade, or is it about future of competitiveness of Thailand?
This is not only about trade. So it is not an agreement on tariffs. It is a comprehensive agreement. Being a comprehensive agreement and having a chapter of regulatory commitments as well, and a part on sustainability, it is an agreement that would increase the competitiveness of Thailand. And this is what I always underscore. It is important, the commitment that Thailand would take towards us in order to achieve an agreement with the European Union are commitments that would help Thailand in increasing Thailand's own competitiveness in the market. And Thailand growth has been quite sluggish, and there is a lot of talk about increasing the economic performance of Thailand. And I think that the discussions that we are having with Thailand in the framework of the FTA will go in that direction.
One of the major concerns is for like business community to adapt to higher standard of the EU, especially on climate issue like CBAM or other standard. What's your take on this, or what's the message that you like to tell business community in Thailand?
Thailand, on many aspects, has been embracing this higher standard of the European Union. And I would like to quote the deforestation regulation, where Thailand was ready with the changes that are required in order to export products to the European Union. Now, the high standards of the European Union are science-based and have the objective of protecting the consumers and protecting the environment. So these are very good reasons to have high standards. And the other element that I would like to bring to the table is that when we have high standards, these are the same standards that apply to the European Union producers as well as to countries that wish to export to the European Union. So what we create is a level playing field. Now, I can also add that if a country or a company is ready to meet the standards of the European Union, in all likelihood can export to any other country in the world.
And does the EU see that this high standard would become economic barriers for a country like Thailand or developing economies?
Not economic barriers. None of the countries, you have said that we have an agreement with Vietnam. Vietnam economy is booming, and that hasn't been an economic barrier. Neither has been with Indonesia, neither has been with other countries. So I wouldn't say that an agreement with the European Union and setting high standards would in any way hinder the economic development of Thailand.
Geopolitically, Thailand doesn't want to choose sides between superpower. What is the path that EU can offer?
Thailand is not choosing sides, but has chosen the European Union as well as an important partner. And that we see, as I said, in our relation that have really been strengthened over the years and are flourishing now. And what we can offer is stability, reliability, and being a long-term partner on which Thailand can count. And I would like here to underscore when I spoke about security provider, and we consider ourselves also to be a global security provider, we see security composed of many elements, one of which is development, one which is also humanitarian assistance. And here, let me underscore that the European Union and the member states are the biggest provider of ODA, with 42% of the global ODA provided by the European Union and the member states, and are also the number one provider of humanitarian assistance. So the European Union is trusted long-term, but also with big offerings to make.
You mentioned many times maritime security cooperation that the EU would like to do more in this region. So what's the plan of EU to compete for influence in this region?
We are not competing for influence. We are providing technical assistance and joining forces to work on maritime security with partner countries. So we have two missions on maritime security for the moment, one in the Red Sea and one in the Indian Ocean. These are civilian military missions. And we also have a program regional dedicated to maritime security, which is a Cremario project, under which we have done quite a number of seminars and regional conferences to enhance the understanding, the exchanges among partner countries on different aspects of maritime security, including undersea cables, for instance.
การทำความตกลงการค้าเสรีกับสหภาพยุโรปจะเป็นทั้งโอกาสครั้งใหญ่และบททดสอบสำคัญของไทยค่ะเพราะว่านอกจากจะช่วยเปิดประตูสู่ตลาดโลกแล้วยังเพิ่มศักยภาพการแข่งขันสนับสนุนเป้าหมายการก้าวสู่ประเทศรายได้สูง และเป็นแรงผลักดันให้ไทยยกระดับมาตรฐานสินค้า กฎหมายและสิ่งแวดล้อมให้เท่าทันเศรษฐกิจโลกยุคใหม่ด้วยแต่ว่าอีกด้านหนึ่งไทยเองก็ต้องพัฒนากฎหมายทักษะแรงงานระบบจัดซื้อจัดจ้างและมาตรฐานสินค้าตามมาตรฐานของสหภาพยุโรปควบคู่ไปกับการรักษาสมดุลทางการค้าและการปกป้องผลประโยชน์ของประเทศในระยะยาวด้วยเช่นกันแต่หลายประเทศในเอเชียก็ได้มีการลงนามความตกลงการค้าเสรีกับสหภาพยุโรปไปแล้วอย่างเช่นเวียดนามสิงคโปร์และอินโดนีเซียซึ่งสามารถขยายฐานเศรษฐกิจและสร้างการเติบโตได้อย่างต่อเนื่องค่ะไทยต้องใช้โอกาสนี้เร่งปรับตัวให้ทันเกมเศรษฐกิจโลกในครั้งนี้ให้ได้ Other countries in the region have already concluded free trade agreement with the EU. Does it mean Thailand is at risk of falling behind?
Now, Thailand is not at risk of falling behind, but you are right. We have concluded quite a lot of agreements. So in the ASEAN region, we have agreements with Singapore, Vietnam, and most recently with Indonesia. In the Asia, broadly Asia Pacific, of course, we have concluded with India, we have concluded with Australia, we have agreement with Japan. So we have quite a lot of agreements. Thailand is not falling behind in the sense that our aim is to move ahead with the agreements that are under negotiation in the ASEAN region is Thailand, Malaysia, and the Philippines. And we hope to really move forward in quite rapidly on the three agreements. There is no competition. It's not one first and the other would suffer. Thailand, we had started the negotiations earlier. We had to freeze the negotiation, as I said, for political considerations. Now that we have started again in 2023, I see that there has been steady progress. So we are very positive that we will be able to come to the finishing line together in the near future.
What's the advice or assistance that EU can provide to Thailand in order to conclude the agreement?
Embrace the change. This is the message I would give. Embrace the change. And that message is for the business community as well. And for that, structural changes are necessary. And so I would say my message is embrace the change, and that will help coming to a conclusion of the free trade agreement as well.
What are the changes you see or Thailand should pursue?
Regulatory changes are necessary, but facilitate open the market is what I would say. And then changes that would make trade and investment easier in Thailand. We all need to do more on digital infrastructure, I think. Thailand, like all of us, we need to upgrade our skills in the workforce as we upgrade our focus in the economy. So the skill gap that in some sectors has been witnessed by recent studies is something that needs to tackle, but is not an issue that is only an issue of Thailand. It's an issue in many economies where the economy changes, the priority changes, the sector evolves. The skill and the workforce need to adapt with the development of the economy. And this is what one of the elements that needs to be looked at.
Finally, Ambassador, do you have any particular message to tell Thai political leaders and Thai business community leaders in Thailand?
It is very important for us as a regional entity, also in terms of stability in the region. And the central location and the structure of the economy of Thailand makes it also as a very important gateway for trade from the neighboring countries and for economic opportunities from the neighboring countries. So we see Thailand as a bilateral, regional, and multilateral actor with whom we want to increase our engagement across the board.
จากบทสนทนาในวันนี้ก็เห็นได้ชัดนะคะว่า EU เองก็กำลังเผชิญกับความท้าทายเมื่อโลกกำลังเปลี่ยนขั้ว EU ก็ต้องปรับตัวแต่ในเรื่องการค้าการบรรลุข้อตกลงการค้าเสรีกับประเทศไทยทางเอกอัครราชทูต EU ก็ย้ำนะคะว่าไทยเองก็ต้องเปิดประเทศมากขึ้นต้องปรับกฎเกณฑ์ภายในบ้านเพื่อที่จะให้ได้มาตรฐานตามที่ EU ได้ตั้งไว้ซึ่งไทยก็คงปฏิเสธไม่ได้นะคะเพราะว่าเมื่อประเทศอื่นๆในอาเซียนในเอเชียตะวันออกเฉียงใต้บรรลุข้อตกลงไปแล้วไทยเองก็ต้องพยายามทำให้ได้เช่นเดียวกันมิฉะนั้นไทยก็จะพลาดโอกาสสำคัญก็คือการเข้าถึงตลาดขนาดใหญ่ไม่ต่ำกว่า450ล้านคนและถือว่าเป็นความท้าทายที่ควรจะต้องเกิดขึ้นโดยเร็วที่สุดสำหรับการบรรลุข้อตกลงการค้าเสรีไทยและสหภาพยุโรปค่ะทั้งหมดก็คือ The World Dialogue สำหรับวันนี้ค่ะดิฉันณัฐฐา โกมลวาทินสวัสดีค่ะ